Hey everybody, welcome to the RR Live Wellness Unfiltered podcast. My name is Robert Reams, the host and the producer of the show, and as always, I'm here to inform and inspire you, to educate you, and to motivate you so that you can take this information, put it to work in your lives, share it with your loved ones and your families. I've come a long way to have this opportunity to sit in front of you today. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome to the RR Live Wellness Unfiltered podcast. My name is Robert Reams once again. I appreciate you all tuning in. Thousands and thousands of views are coming in for this show, and I really appreciate the support, always. I never take it for granted. I know you all are busy out there, and your time is important to you, and my goal is always to give you the best info and the best product out there so you can get the information you need to share it with your loved ones and your families. Now today, I'm really pumped for this show. I was coming down here, down the A40 to Murfreesboro, and I talked to Trent here right before we went on, and there's so much going on with this show in my head because this could be the most important show that I do right here today, this show that you're watching. We are in a crossroads in America. We are at a crossroads. We are at a fork in the road right now. Think about this. How many people do you know in your life right now, this year, their health insurance has gone up? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's affected by it. This is something in our country that has come to a head. We have a healthcare crisis in this country, and we've known that for a long time. But we've been kicking the can down the road. Kicking the can down the road. Insurance will cover it. The government will take care of it. Well, you know, we've come to the end of the road. The swamp's running dry. The river's not flowing anymore. I had somebody post the other day, a really good friend of mine from childhood, said my husband's health care cost, his insurance costs are going up $1,000 a month. And she's putting a shout out on Facebook to anyone who has connections for good health care insurance prices. $1,000 a month, folks. Now, what is that going to do to you? What's it going to do to me? This is a crossroads. What are we going to do? How do we deal with it? Where do we go from here? Because the system has made us sick. 93% of Americans are metabolically dysfunctional. They're metabolically sick at some level. That means if there were 10 people in this room today, over 9 of them would be metabolically sick. And metabolically sick means that the baseline of your health, and I'm talking about physical and mental, the baseline of your health is compromised in a huge way. You're coming out of the gates with a disadvantage. Because metabolic health, as you've heard me talk about on this show, and you'll hear other people out there that know what they're doing, the baseline of health is metabolic health. And if you don't have it, if it is not optimized, if you are not putting your best foot forward, if you're not taking that ultimate self-care of you, like I talk about all the time, you're compromised. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. But here's the thing. The power is in your hands. And it always has been. And I've been talking about this stuff for 30 years. I've been in this business over 40 years. And I come from a place of poor metabolic health when I was a kid. And I brought myself out of it. So I'm coming from a place as a professional, but I've experienced this personally. So at this crossroads, at this fork right here, are we going to continue to be wired by convenience in this country? Are we going to go down there and just want everything provided for us? Or are we going to go down this road? And are we going to start to take care of our environment? Take care of our self-care. You can review all the shows I've done here at Spread the Positive Studios. Every single one of them, foundationally, has everything to do with what I'm going to talk about here, because I'm culminating it here. This show will air before the end of 2025. And in 2026, these health insurance costs, these increases, are when shit's going to hit the fan for most of you. And you're going to have to do something that you may have not done before. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to come off that road of wired for convenience, which 95% of America is, and you're going to have to start paving your own way and taking care of yourself. You know, this bullshit about, I'm not going to cook, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, you know, that crap, you know, that ship sailed. That ship sailed, because if you don't optimize your self-care, check my episode probably 5 or 6 episodes ago. Our 7 steps of optimum self-care. You put that to work in your life alone, and your life will change. What about how can we change the world? Can we change the world? The 20% increase or boost in metabolic health that I've talked about. It's up to us. We make the choices. 80% of your grocery store today is ultra-processed crap, shit, poison. But you continue to buy it. Maybe some of you listening don't buy it. If you've been listening to me, you probably got the picture. You probably got a grip on this. But there are other people around you that do. We have toxic air. We have toxic media. We have all this toxicity coming around us. But it's not all toxic. You have control. Remember this, and this is one of your key takeaways from this show today. You, we, us, we drive the market. If all this crap food is not being purchased, if all this crap food continues to sit on the shelf and rot, it's going to have to sit there a couple of years, because most of it is generated to last 5 years, because it's not real food. But we have the power to change the market with what we buy, the critical decisions that we make. Remember, critical decisions, the new paradigm for choices. Critical decisions are critical because they are critical for your life. They are critical, the ones you make and the ones that you don't make. Trent, do I get my point across to start out?
You're killing it.
I have to do this show, folks. Trent, I have to do this because there's so many people that are just blah, 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 blah out there. But nothing frickin' changes.
Man, you're right.
Nothing changes. The same 20% that are in the game, they get it. But they're not the issue. I'm not the issue. I caught this when I was 10 years old. I knew that what I was doing with my addiction to ultra-processed food and my addiction, I was heavy, I was fat, I was obese, I was miserable. Over 80% of obese kids become obese adults. Do you see the pipeline here? It's called a pipeline. We got to snap that pipeline. We got to break it. It's like your plumbing. You got a bad pipe, you got to replace it. It's got to go another direction. That crossroads that I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to bring up a couple key points on this. Number one, and again, I'm talking about blah, blah, blah. How many freaking years have we been talking about the fact that we need to change school lunches? You heard anything about that in the last 20 years, Trent?
Yes, a lot.
And when you go to any typical, especially a public school and even private schools,
That's bad.
What do you see?
That's really bad.
You see the same crap that I saw in 1974.
Wow.
Same shit. You know why? Because nobody is putting the effort and the actual effort and the mechanism to change it. Oh, we raise money. We raised money for all this. We raised money for this. We raised money for this. Where's the frickin' money? Where does it go? Where's the oversight? And where's the oversight for the oversight? All this money that's being raised, health for kids, some of it is being done for good. I'm not bashing everything out there. The people that are doing good, and you know who you are, and I hope you're watching this and listening to this, because we all need to hear it. We all need this wake-up call. This is a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call at the end of the day. That's what I'm doing here today. School lunches. Trent, did you know there are 700 billionaires in the United States?
700.
700, not millionaires, billionaires with a B. 700. I'm going to put this out there. You billionaires, or you millionaires, or whoever wants to really make change out there, you put forth some money. You put forth the funding. And we will track where that funding goes. We will actually make sure that the funding goes for what it's supposed to go for. School lunches. Education for nutrition for kids. You put me in charge of that, and my team, I'll have it fixed in a week. You heard that right. All you billionaires out there. If you're a billionaire, I want to hear from you. I have a project right now that I'm involved with called Kids First Alliance. This is one of the things that we'll be doing, that I'll be doing for this organization. It's a fantastic organization. It's going to do some great things. But what needs to happen out there, folks, is somebody to put their money where their mouth is. Enough of the talk. Enough of the we need to do this. We need to do it. Because let me tell you this. This is how simple it is. I've done this for years. I've done these on Dr. Phil. If you go back to Dr. Phil, I've probably done 4 shows where I would go in and I would go to somebody's house in LA, in Phoenix, wherever. So all over the country. I would go into somebody's house. I would go in, I would go into their cupboards, I would go into their fridge, and I would clean the crap out, and I would bring that person groceries and refill their kitchen, stocking their environment for success. Did it all the time. Does that seem pretty simple, Trent?
Absolutely. Just one person at a time, right?
Well, one person at a time, but think about this. School luncheon programs.
Yep.
We have funding. We do the same dang thing. We go in, we clean the crap out, and we put the good stuff in. And we bring in the facilities to make these kids lunches that will actually feed their brains in the proper way. That will feed them metabolically in the proper way. And when we start doing this, and this is that simple, folks. This is logistics. This is cleaning the shit out and putting the good stuff in. That's all it is. But yet we haven't done it yet. Why? Why haven't we done it? Let you think about that for a second. Answer's pretty simple. The machine doesn't want it fixed.
Boom.
The machine doesn't want it fixed. The machine wants the pipeline. Sick kids become sick adults. Not sick to die. Nobody's dying from this. There are very few. They're just sick enough that they're dependent on the system. The same system that I'm talking about right now that's broken. The same system where the well is run dry. And now we have health insurance costs out of control. We've run out of resources, so who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for it? Now I got to take a breath here. Am I getting that point across, Trent?
Yes. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Snap.
Ooh.
Snap products. Okay, Snap. Let's talk about Snap for a second. Now, Snap, to me, and again, when we come from a foundation of giving the people the power and the education, the skills, the tools, and the personal empowerment to put all these things together, Snap should come with education. You've got a budget for Snap. You want to feed your family the best that you can. Now, you're not going to feed your family the best it can be in most of the convenience stores, and you're going to overpay. Now, the thing we're doing is we're going to show how you can create a budget and buy in bulk and cook in bulk and learn how to make your money work for you so you can eat healthy food, nutritious food that feeds your body, mind, and soul, your brain. And you can be that person physically and mentally that you deserve to be, that you want to be, and not be poisoned any longer. I hate to say this, but many of us are just sheep in America. You follow what you think everybody needs to be doing. You follow what everybody else is doing. Just took a trip to Atlanta a couple weeks ago. I finally went to my first Buc-ee's. Trent, you know Buc-ee's?
Yes, sir.
If you're from the South down here, you know Buc-ee's. But Buc-ee's is a massive, brilliantly mastered convenience store. It is a freaking awesome business model. You talk about branding, concept, off the charts. But you know why? Because Buc-ee's knows that America is wired for convenience. So they put convenience on steroids. And you go in there and there's all kinds of convenience. And a lot of it's pretty good. But, you know, like everything else, it's a convenience store. There are some choices here and there. But like everywhere else, in every grocery store in America, 70 to 80% of it is. Why do they sell the crap? Because that's what people buy. And that's where I go back to again. If you've heard me talk about this in past shows, we drive the market. Give 3 days in America where you take crap, junk, poison food, and we cut sales 85%, maybe even 100%. I know that's too much to ask. But let's say 60, 70, 85% for 3 days. What is that going to do to the bottom line of some of these food companies that's putting this stuff out? They're going to wake up and they're going to go, wow, America's changing. The market is shifting. We got to shift with the market because you know what? They're going to put out what you buy. And right now you buy the shit. That's why they put it out there. That's why I say we got to wake up. And hopefully you watch this show, you wake up. Because Snap, all this kind of stuff. I mean, what's one of the biggest government subsidies? Soda pop. What does soda pop do to you? It makes you sick eventually. It drives your sugars up, which drives your insulin up, which drives up your obesity, and you are spinning out of control metabolically. But again, the system likes it like that because that's where the money's generated. But again, this is the end of the road here. 2026 is going to be a year this has to turn around. And like I said, you billionaires out there, I'm ready. I can change this shit in a week. You give me the proper funding and you give me my team and let us do this. Let us do this like it's supposed to be done. Because it's as simple as every time I went on the Dr. Phil show and went to somebody's house, I pulled the shit out again and I put in the good stuff. That's all it is. You take this in every middle school and every elementary school in the country. And you know what else you're going to see? During this shift, this transition will make kids smarter. ADHD, conditions like this. which are rampant, you're going to start to see some change, because a lot of this stuff is because the kid is wired on sugar all freaking day. I know what goes on. I did it. This is what I'm saying. I talk about this stuff has been going on since the 70s, but it's worse now because there's high fructose corn syrup. The chemicals in our food are probably 10 times worse than when I was addicted as a kid. That'll tell you how bad it is. Look at numbers, things like, God, I don't even know if I should say it. No, I'm not going to say it. But you get it. You can use your imagination. This stuff drives medical conditions, physical and mental. Again, sick kids become sick adults, drives money into these industries. But where's the money going to come from at some point? That's the point of this show. The well is run dry. Now, I'm going to take a couple things out of this. GLP-1s, let's bring those up. And I want to make something very, very clear. I love the medical industry. I would not be sitting here today if it weren't for my doctors. My doctors pretty much, along with divine intervention, helped me to save my life. You saw my show previously about the medical stuff that I went through. I was on life support. I have a condition called hypopituitarism, where I'm going to be treated for the rest of my life medically. I love my doctors. I put my doctors up as some of the most favorite people in my life because, again, I wouldn't be here without them. I went in for an appendectomy. Again, divine intervention. I marched myself into the ER over here at Williamson County Medical Center. And it turns out that I had cancer in my appendix. Now, if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have taken myself to the ER. This is now over 3 months ago. And yeah, I was back in the gym 4 days later, by the way. 3 days later. If I wouldn't have marched myself into the ER, I wouldn't be here today. Very possible. So I'm grateful to my doctors and I'm grateful to the medical industry. But just like the physical fitness industry, just like the nutrition industry, just like any industry, not everybody is playing on the same game, on the same level. And I'll use these GLP-1s as an example. GLP-1s are a diabetes drug. Now, I've had clients that have gone on to the GLP-1s because this was life-threatening. Diabetes with A1Cs in the 14.8 range. And if you know anything about A1C and A1C levels, which is a pretty standard thing for all of our blood work, you want to be in that 5.7 or below range, so you're not into that diabetic range. So when somebody's at 14.8 or 13.5, that's danger zone. They need that drug. Somebody has type 2 diabetes. Maybe they're even in the 8, 10 range, or their sugars are just out of control. That's what the drug's for. But it's transitioned very rapidly into this weight loss drug, the skinny drug, they call it in Hollywood. The skinny shot. The skinny shot. Trent, you heard of the skinny shot?
Yeah. It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. So what that is manipulation. Once again, mentioned before, even smart people become sheep. You've been manipulated to think that's your only answer. Let me give you the facts. A, it is a diabetes drug, and B, it works very, very well for that. I've seen it in action. But as far as a skinny shot or the new version of a diet, because again, how many times have I mentioned on the show, diets are done. Diets are complete bullshit. Everybody's caught on to that by this point. It's the new diet. You don't hear about Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or the South Beach diet anymore. Those ships have sailed long ago. Those screwed up so many people metabolically. We know that. That's why one of the reasons why we have the issues that we have today, because of that mentality. that's been going on because when the onset of shit food came up in the 50s and the 60s, also the onset of like these crazy diets that make no sense at all, they came on too. So you got money coming in from ultra processed poison foods, drive-throughs, the whole thing, convenience, right? Well, it's more important for it to be convenient than it is for it to be nutritional and feed my body, mind, and soul in the optimum way so I can put my best foot forward in this life. No. We brought in the ultra-processed food, the drive-thrus, all that. Make it quick, make it fast. Doesn't matter the nutrition. Make it quick, make it fast. Doesn't even matter what's in it. At the same time that we brought in the diet industry. Now obesity is out of control. Now metabolic health is completely out of control. And we've got a new answer. We got a new manipulation. The skinny shots, the GLP-1s. Now, if you're out there and you're on one of these, here's my advice to you. I'm not going to tell you not to use it because I've also seen it work for somebody that needs a jump start. It's not a metabolic drug, folks. It's a digestive system retardant drug. Makes you not as hungry. When you're not as hungry, guess what? You don't eat as much. And when you don't eat as much, guess what? You lose weight. But here are the facts, and you can Google this. This is no secret. I'm just, again, the messenger here. The weight that you lose is predominantly muscle. How many times in the last 30 years have you heard me say muscle dictates metabolism? Muscle dictates the rate and the efficiency of your metabolic rate, your engine of life. So you take the shot, you lose some weight, you get on the scale. Ooh, yeah, I lost some weight. It's predominantly muscle. Then you get off the shot. Guess what you gain back? The second you're off the shot. Can you guess, Trent?
What?
Fat. Body fat.
Yeah.
Lose muscle. Looks good on the scale. Get off the shot. What do? You gain the weight back, and it's fat. Classic look. I've seen it a million times. Trent, I know you've probably seen this too. And you folks listen, you probably see this all the time. I can see it a mile away. The GLP-1 look. Skinny little shoulders because you lose all that muscle. Skinny little gaunt face because what keeps you looking young and vibrant, part of it is the musculature in your face. So what happens what are you going to do? Lift weights with your face? Skinny little gaunt face, skinny little gaunt shoulders, skinny little legs, and a gut. That's the look. You seen that look, Trent?
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all have seen it. I know you have.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, go to parties.
Yep.
Go to parties. So if you're going to get on a GLP-1, do this. Get on it. Hit the frickin' gym like there is no tomorrow. Hit that gym. Lift those weights so you can at least balance out what you would lose. Let it jumpstart you metabolically. Let it jumpstart you so you can realize what it is to eat less. And then guess what the other brilliant solution is from that? Is eat less. Could it be any more simple than that? Think about what I've talked about so far. Allocate the right funding. Put some oversight on it. Make sure the funding is put in the right place. Put me and my team in charge, and I'll get some other like-minded people to make this happen on the global level, and we'll change school luncheons in a week. We'll change education for kids nutritionally in a week, and as a result, we will change the world. And then the other thing is, do what I said with the shots. If you're going to go that route, do exactly what I just said. Lift weights, get it on there, get on your shot, Start to get a rhythm of eating less and then continue to eat less. That's all there is to it, folks. Don't overcomplicate any of this. Nothing of what I'm saying is overcomplicated. Is nothing about what I'm saying here is complicated. That's why I'm so passionate about this. And that's why I've watched this crap for years happen right before our eyes, and we've been fooled. Hopefully this show will change that. RFK and his team, thank God for him. Because what's happened is there's still a lot of blah, blah, blah. He's got his team out there and they've got their branding and they're selling their books and this, there's always going to be some of that. And that's okay. I'm really all right with that as long as it's sincere and authentic. But what RFK and his team and this whole thing has done is brought it to the forefront where at least people now, where we were on sheep mode before, we were just going with the flow, wasn't on our radar, now it is. And that's fantastic. And the thing is, it has to be on our radar. It has to be. Because if we don't change, like I said, folks, what are you going to do next year at this same time if your insurance goes up again another $1,000 a month? What the hell are you going to do? You've got to take charge now. You've got to be proactive about your mental and physical well-being instead of reactive. Oh, I'm fat. Oh, I had a heart attack. Oh, I got this, I got that. Listen, I'll tell you once again, the whole reason I'm sitting here today, to quote my doctor, your work saved your life. And for what I thought was over in my career has a whole new dimension. And that's why I'm sitting here today. And everything you see out of me from now on is going to be at this level. And the machine, what are you going to do? I'm speaking the truth. It's just, again, with the radar, that what's on people's radar right now is to be on automatic. Knee-jerk reactions. You're not taking charge of your self-care, and you got to do that. Supplements. Supplements are great. I'm going to shift gears into a couple notes I have here because I'm probably not going to get to everything on this today that I wanted to. This is probably another show, which it needs to be. But supplements, people think, and that's another thing that people sell out there. Your experts, your influencers out there. Well, get this supplement, get this shake, get this powder. Some of it's really good. But think about the word supplement. What does that mean? To supplement your food. The biggest, most voluminous, most largest medicine, volume and impact-wise in your life is always going to be the food that you eat. That's the biggest medicine you'll ever take. So when you sit down tonight and look at that meal and go, is this medicine? Is this medicinal? Is this going to help me? Or is this going to continue to take me backwards? It's that simple. When you prepare a plate, when you go to a drive-thru, when you go to a convenience store, look for the good choices. And again, the more you pick those good choices and make those right critical decisions, the more these stores are going to stock. It's all business. Get that? This is a free market. This is capitalism, baby. Capitalism is going to follow what you buy. So when you make the shift in the buying stuff that is going to optimize your self-care, then there will be change. Everything RFK is doing right now, it's amazing. And some of the people that he's brought up with, it's amazing. But unless we have this collective behavioral change in the United States from every single one of us, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. It's going to flatline. It's still up to you, but we've elevated it now to where it's on your radar. It's in your home. Now you go to your Instagram, and even if you're, tapping in on ultra-processed food sites all the time, it's still going to be in there. It's starting to creep into your life, and this is a transition. It won't happen overnight. But it can happen, and it will happen. It's got to happen. I talk about a culture of wellness. I have a corporate wellness company. I have a corporate wellness company that is doing some great work. I've done corporate wellness and employee wellness for a long time. I've made mistakes. When I started in the 90s, I've made some mistakes along the way that I've corrected. The key to corporate wellness or any kind of a group wellness situation is to stay present. I've got this down now. And I talk about creating a culture of wellness within groups and companies. It's a culture of wellness that is created. Now, what is a culture of wellness? It's you look around at the group of people that you're with, because community is so important in all of this. Community creates a culture of wellness. When a community of like-minded people, and maybe they aren't like-minded when you first start with them or when I first start with them, but what I see is this evolvement of self-care and this culture of wellness where everybody starts taking good care of themselves. And it becomes the thing to do. And then you get wired for that. Instead of wired for convenience and wired for knee-jerk reactions for some of this stuff, you've created this culture of wellness. Right now, we have a culture of sickness in our country. Going back to what I said at the beginning, 93% of folks out there are metabolically deficient, metabolically dysfunctional. There is something going on metabolically that is bringing their health down. That's almost everybody. But when you create a culture of wellness and you lose that culture of sickness, then things start to happen. And I see this with the groups I work with. So it's another thing. Get a hold of me. You got a company or employee wellness program that you need help with. You got people that are not motivated. You got people that are giving you poor productivity, sucking off your health plans because they're calling in sick so much, and you're losing money because of that. Get a hold of us. Revive and Sustain Wellness. We'll fix that. We will create a culture of wellness for you. And the other thing I want to mention before I begin, because I'm going to wind this down, I got so involved with what's swirling in my head that I forgot to bring out my book, Anti-Diet. But I want you to buy this book. Anti-Diet, The Paradigm Has Shifted. Everything I'm talking about and more is in that book. I wrote it. Me and my partner, we wrote it. We didn't call some publishing company and, get manipulated by that to buy some book that some publisher or some agent thinks will sell. We give the whole industry a lesson here. If it's good and it works, it'll sell. Anti-Diet, The Paradigm Has Shifted. There'll be a link on this show link, and it's on Amazon. If you go, I have a Beacons account on all my Facebook and my Instagram. You go to that and all my stuff's there. Get this book. Trent, you got that book. You've been reading it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good stuff.
Great stuff. And it's very simple. I mean, the stuff I'm talking about here, folks, is simple. Now, I'm going to just give a couple of points that I want to close with. Again, there's so much in my head. I'll probably do another show like this, but I actually don't remember half of what I just said because I'm channeling it from a place of truth. The stuff's in me. And like I said, it's not that hard. The things I'm talking about and the changes that need to be made are not hard. They're logistic. It's pulling the shit out and putting the good stuff in. That's all there is to it. And we're in charge of the market. Now, there's some points I want to make to close on. I'm going to say one more thing. Some marketing from certain entities out there on Instagram and Facebook. I'm not going to mention any names. But some of the marketing out there just, I'm flabbergasted at it. Because what you're doing is there's a piece of pie. And 20% of that piece of pie are the people that are really doing the work out there metabolically. And they're the ones that are getting results. 80% of America is tuned out. They've tuned out. So what happens with some of this bullshit marketing that comes up with fitness people especially, but a lot of other people too, it's just too much. You're not bringing the 80% in. So you got to bring the 80% in. You got to bring the 80% in. You don't tap into the 80%, then the pie, every piece of pie out there is just getting a little bit smaller for the 20%. So all your narcissistic crap marketing out there that you are putting forth, that's not about the people that you're trying to help. It's about you. It's about you. It's not about the people you're helping. Lose it. You've got to come to the other side for the 80%. Because the truth is, folks, they've been intimidated and they've been knocked out of the game. It's not even on their radar. And again, you got to bring them in. If we are going to have change, again, the collective behavioral change that I talk about, you got to bring that 80% in there. You got to tap into them. I've been talking about this for 25 years. The communication gap between our industry and the people that need the help the most. It's not a gap. It's a frickin' canyon. And unfortunately, it hasn't closed that much. So reevaluate your marketing out there, folks. Fitness professionals, nutrition professionals. You know, hey, if your supplement, if the stuff that you're putting out there, again, is authentic, I want to see it. I want to see it out there as part of what I'm talking about today. But if it's bullshit and you know it and you're just taking people's money, give it a rest. We don't need it anymore. Be good at what you do and you'll make your money. That's the message to the industry. Okay, now a couple more things and then we're going to wrap this up. A couple things you want to do out there because of the swirl that's out there. I want you to hone in on these things. Get all this on your radar. I talk about radar. Get all this on your radar, folks. Again, many of you that listen to me, this is just review. And driving this point home a little bit more. But many of you out there are tuned out. I want you to tune back in because there is hope out there. I talk about, there's another thing I've said for years. We need hope first and then a plan. Hope and a plan. There is hope and I've got the plan. So keep tuning in. Get it on your radar. Begin to master change. A lot of you are going to have to change, and it's not going to happen overnight. But if you start now, master change. Make the changes that you know you need to make. Wake up and make the changes. It's that simple. Get it on your radar, then make the change. Make the modifications. You can do this. I've seen this all the time. And until you do that, metabolically, it's not going to happen for you. Prepare a secured environment. How many times you heard me talk about that? Your environment. You can't eat what's not there. You can't do what's not there. Secure your environment for success. Community, facilities, food, drink, everything you have. If I am in business and I need to put my best foot forward, if I've got a project or I've got a presentation or I've got a business model that I need to complete, guess what? I need my environment secured for success. If I don't have what I need, I'm not going to be able to do it. And round up everybody you know. This happens from the ground level. This is community. Because when I say this and you listen to this and you go out and talk about it, then somebody else goes out and talks about it. Maybe they watch this. Round up your community. Get everybody together. Like-minded people. That's what group and corporate wellness does. I've seen it. I'm involved with projects with this right now. I see the shift. I see it in their eyes. I see it in their behavior. I see it in the company. And guess what? These companies, they thrive. You want your company to make money? Get on a wellness program today. Lift weights. Do resistance training. Again, talked about at the beginning, muscle dictates metabolism. You've got to do strength training. If you want change in your physical body, which then will change your mental and your physical outlook, you want that change, you've got to do resistance training. Lift weights, tubing, body weight, machines, whatever you have access to. Establish consistency. This is not a one-shot deal. You got to do this all the time. Again, review some of my shows. I've talked about consistency before. Anything else in your life, consistency is so vital. You've got to have it. Consistency. That means keep doing it as a habit. And the other thing is continue to learn and gather information. Learn things. Again, one of the baselines of my whole program, I teach you skills. The diet industry never taught you anything. They give you this program or whatever, and you do this program, but you never learned. Food is a skill. Exercise is a skill. Lifestyle is a skill. Metabolic health is a skill. Skills, tools, knowledge, simple knowledge. This again is not hard. And the personal empowerment to put it forth in your life. It is that simple, folks. And I'm going to say this over and over because, hey, I'm still here to do it. Thank the good Lord above. Divine intervention. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate this. This was, again, a very, very important show, maybe one of the most important shows I've done thus far here at Spread the Positive. I've been doing podcasts off and on a long time, but this is the one, folks. Spread the Positive Studios, Nashville Fit Media Network. We can change and we will change and we must change. And if we don't change, what's going to happen? I'll leave you with that today, folks. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Keep watching. Keep tuning in. Like it. Share it. And most of all, God bless. Hey, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in to the RR Live Wellness Unfiltered podcast. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. And don't forget the Revive and Sustain Wellness app. Go to www.reviveandsustain.com and download the app. 42 years of my experience at your fingertips. Till next time, everybody, in great health.